Hi, good morning everybody, and welcome. I'm Dr. Bob McKee. I'll be your instructor for the course. This is Sociology 156, otherwise known as Racial and Ethnic Relations in the United States. Well, welcome. First thing I want to do is say thank you for taking the course. I think you'll have an enjoyable and interesting and informative time this term. So I want to start by telling you quickly about the course evaluations. I'm sure that's of importance to you. So first thing I want to talk about is the discussion board. Now the discussion board, there are 9 of those, pretty much every week, unless we're having an exam. So in the discussion board, there'll be a question each week for you to respond to. Now your response is due by Thursday of each week, what we call your initial response or your initial comments. They're due by Thursday of each week by 11:59 p.m. And when I say 11:59, that applies to all of your assignments. What I mean by that is 11:59 in 0 seconds. If you go 1 second over that 11:59, Canvas will lock you out and you won't be able to submit your assignment. You'll be sending me an email, Dr. Bob. So be sure you get your assignments in. And it never hurts to get that initial discussion board post in early before Thursday, and it gives your fellow students a chance to respond. Okay, so your response. You are, to complete the discussion board assignment, you must respond to 2 other students on or before Sunday of each week, and again by 11:59 p.m. So whether it is your initial comments or your 2 replies, they must be a minimum of 2 well-written paragraphs. So make sure whatever you do in your responses and in your initial reply, that you break that up into 2 paragraphs. And be sure you always address your fellow students by their first name. It's just a courtesy. It's a good habit to get into. So, okay, that covers the discussion board. And as far as the discussion board goes, it's an interactive assignment, so it cannot be made up. That means that if you miss it or miss any part of it, for example, then you're going to get reduced points on the assignment, and it's worth 25 points overall. So it cannot be made up if you miss it or miss any part of it. So again, remember, initial response is due by Thursday of each week. Your 2 replies are due by Sunday of each week, and they're all due by 11:59 p.m. Okay, excuse me, there are also 9 quizzes with each module. So if you have a discussion board that week, then you're also going to have a quiz. The quizzes are due by Sunday, again by 11:59 p.m. There's a paper, and that paper is due on March 8th. And that paper will be available from day 1. So come January 6th, that paper is available. My advice is always to start working on it right away. Just chip away on it, even if you only make a paragraph or 2 each week or every couple of days. Take time, if you can, every day to work on your paper. And I'm always willing to look at a draft of the paper. So make sure you look up the rubric for the paper, the guidelines, and that'll help direct you really well on the paper. Finally, there is a midterm exam and there is a final exam. Week 6 is your midterm exam. Week 11 is the final exam. And during those weeks, there's no discussion board, no quizzes. You have the entire week just to work on the exam. And we'll talk a little bit more about the exams when we get closer to them. So that's about everything I have for you this week. Let me look at my notes here real quick. Oh, the icebreaker, I wanted to talk about that. There is an icebreaker. It's not a required part of the course, not a required assignment, but it's something where you can log in there. You'll see where I've already made my comments. Tell us a little bit about yourself, get to know you a little bit better, because one of the issues that we always have with online classes is we don't really get to know much about the students on more of a personal level. So the icebreaker allows that. And of course, in the discussion board, you'll have the opportunity to talk about your own experiences as well. All right, that's all I have for you. Finally, I want to say this. Look, if you ever have any questions, comments, concerns, please keep me posted. The best way to reach me is through Canvas. I check Canvas several times a day. Also, you can reach me through my UCLA email address, mckeer @gmail.com. www.ucla.edu. And it's also in the syllabus. The syllabus, I always ask students, please read over the syllabus. I know it's long, it's about 4 pages, but there's lots of good information in there. And finally, I want to say this about the textbook. Now, occasionally students run into problems with the textbook, getting it on time, whatever. If you don't get it right away, you should be okay with, I do what I call a lecture summary, or it's really a summary of the textbook, and that's available, again, in each module. There is a PowerPoint presentation which pertains primarily to the terms and concepts, which is what the quizzes are all about. So be sure you're looking at those learning materials that I've put in there for you. They will really help you throughout this course. All right, that's all I have for you. I've gone over my 5 minutes here. I usually try to keep these 5 minutes or less. So that's it. Again, any questions, comments, concerns, please let me know. Otherwise, I will talk to you good people very soon. Thank you and goodbye.